Hello everyone and welcome back to the NASCAR Heat 5 Clint Bowyer season mode. And I noticed something in post of the recent episodes. So on the left of your screen is going to be a photo of the backstretch at Auto Club in NASCAR Heat 5 on the PlayStation 4. And on the right side of your screen is a photo of it from the PC version. Now keep in mind this is the same exact game, supposed to be the same track. What do you notice a little bit strange about these two pictures? It's the fact that 704 left the safer barriers out of the PC version. Now, consider me crazy, but doesn't using two versions of the same track for different platforms sound more difficult than just making one version of the track and using it for all the versions of the game? Because I don't know about you, that sounds like more effort than needed to make the PC version of this one particular track massively incorrect by having no safer barriers on either the back or front stretch. Anyway, back on topic, we're going into Homestead-Miami Speedway for today's race. Let's take a look at the season standings. The last race I won above Martin Truex Jr., so I'm currently the point leader. I've won 3 stages so far this season. Here's a look at the points. Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch are tied for second with 190 points each, but I have a 225-point season so far, so I'm clearly the point leader. Not to mention, as I've said previously, for some reason the game left out Austin Dillon, so that has kind of opened the floodgates for some reason for a bunch of ridiculous winners, including Bubba Wallace, Austin's own brother Ty, Matt DiBenedetto, BJ McLeod's running, top 15 speed every week, outrunning a 7-time champion. It's going to be a good one here at Homestead. I should also mention this is one of the few racetracks where you can run more than one line, and it kind of makes sense, but still the AI is stupid. So let's get on with it. So here we are at Homestead-Miami Speedway for qualifying. I'm going to disobey rules again. Just get straight up onto the banking and try and run the out lap. All right, here we go. 1 lap. Pole speed was a 31.78. Don't think we're going to be anywhere near that. Got to the throttle a little bit sooner through 3 and 4 than I did in 1 and 2. Let's see how the lap holds up. Not very good already. 32.4. 15th. That's not a very bad qualifying effort. I think that's where we won from at Atlanta last week, so that should be pretty good. BJ McLeod in 7th. I don't get it. I really don't. Obviously, Bobby Carter is, 0.2 of a second slower than Chad Fincham. Why did this game put him in and not Austin Dillon? Anyway, I guess someone had an issue as we now look at the top stories from Homestead, because we've moved up to 14th. Eric Jones failed pre-race tech. Jimmy Johnson had to change an engine after qualifying, and Kyle Busch won the pole. Why does it say Eric Jones forfeits their qualifying position? Shouldn't it say his?
All right, be smart out here. Going green. Almost ready. Hammer down. Green.
Here we go.
Inside.
Green flag is out at Homestead. 19 laps in the first stage. 15 laps on gas.
Stay high up here.
And I'm going to be monitoring my oil temperature to see if we can put some more tape on this thing without ending up looking like Denny Hamlin. Split in the middle on those 2 Fords. 2 Ryans, actually. BJ's dropping back.
Still there.
I'm using them up, too, so that's definitely not helping. Anyway, up in the 9th spot, Ryan Newman trying to push me down the front stretch. I don't like how shallow of an entry we were taking there. Going to try and arc it in a little bit more than that. Still pushed. Ryan Newman committed to pushing me on the outside right there. So remember that you can really only push the oil temperature up to around 250 before you start losing power. But right now, with how much we're off throttle, I'm running about 230. So I could probably risk about 5% more tape if I really wanted to. I'm going to try and Tony Stewart underneath Joey Logano, but didn't quite have the cajoons. I have no idea how Kyle Busch has been able to hold the lead while riding the wall. Now, at real Homestead, that would make sense. But in NASCAR Heat Homestead, that's iffy. 3 wide, underneath Logano and Hamlin. Ryan Newman still wanting to push. I can dig it. Here we go. That was actually good, really good push right there. Although I'm pushing myself right there up the hill. Kyle Busch still trying to make the outside line work, but Kevin Harvick's starting to catch him. 3 wide it again. Ooh, touch the apron. Are we 4 wide? Yeah, we're 4 wide, aren't we? I do this at every single racetrack. I don't understand. Ooh. All right. Up to 6th spot. Joey Logano wants to push. Ryan Newman just raced his way up into the top 5. I'm going to try and stop him right here. By the way, this is the first race I've recorded post Chase Elliott being crowned a Cup Series champion. To be entirely truthful with you, I never thought I'd be able to say that. You know, we all knew Chase could pull off a win, but never quite exactly expected a championship. He probably benefited from it, you know, being at Phoenix, since, you know, GM as a whole has not been really performing on the super speedways unless, you know, you're talking Daytona, Talladega. The short tracks and road courses, though, they've got mastered pretty much, with the exception of the Penske Fords. Because for some reason, Penske dropped the ball in the season finale 500, even though they absolutely killed the field in the spring race. Either Ford got better or either GM got better or Ford got worse. I'm not sure. Kevin Harvick. Look at him, an actual teammate willing to push. Pushing me past Kyle Busch and into the lead for the 2nd consecutive week. That's good news for Stewart Haas. Well, more like good news for me. The car naturally wants to drift to the outside, but that's probably just due to centripetal force, which, to think that I think 704 actually programmed that in. I mean, that's kind of cool that, you know, they got that far at least. 1.5 need to be worn out for me to run quick. You know, I kind of put a whooping on the field at Atlanta. I'm liking the way this car's feeling here at Homestead. I'm dreading the next race, however, at Texas, which is the same length as Atlanta and as Homestead, just a much fresher surface. Because, I mean, the biggest problem with NASCAR Heat, I think everybody knows it by now, is how low the AIs can wrap the corner. Look at what Joey's doing behind me. You see, I had to slow down to 150 miles an hour to actually wrap the bottom like that. And Joey could just say, you know, screw you, I'm just going to run the bottom. Inhuman amounts of grip. I mean, there's no way you can get that much out of a Goodyear. I mean, I swear he put on softs.
Looking inside now. You got room. You're clear.
I guess we have a different tire strategy than the 22 somehow. I'm just going to say I'm running mediums. And that's what's screwing me up. Because, you know, I bet you Joey's going to enter as low as humanly possible right here.
Careful, still there.
Newman got real there for a moment, but look at this. See, I'm not going to let Joey run away with it. if I can. Because, you know,
Careful, still there.
I have to kind of shut my mouth because of what's happening right here. I mean, the Penske cars, they can't decide whether they want to hurt each other or help me or what they're trying to do. Brad's going to wrap the bottom with inhuman Penske grip that Joey also has. I just about killed myself there. You see how the rear end of the car is listed as in a damaged state? That's probably all Ryan Newman's fault. Okay. Yeah. Alright. I mean, I gotta enter survival mode at this point. Get this thing to the end of the stage. Stop trying to pass people. Because this thing is starting to get really ugly. And we have to pit still. 6 laps remaining in the stage, but only 3 on gas.
Farther on the inside.
Newman's still willing to push.
You're all clear on the bottom. Inside. You got room. You're clear.
I wish that, you know, 704 could have figured out their AI a little.
You're almost out of gas. 5 to go. 5 to go.
Because, I mean, I
Hold your line.
I despise this wrapping the bottom crap. Because, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Clear up top. Inside. Bottom
I like how the AIs are willing to push. I think that's pretty neat.
You're hitting pit road this time.
You know, because it makes sense for the modern aero package.
Car high. Careful.
Pass him. Ah, I wanted to pass him. Okay. Now on to pit road. Hopefully the pit crew doesn't screw me over. I'm bumping it up.
Stage point.
The stage just ended. Now I'm not going to bump up the tape. Yeah. I got to be more confident in my decisions. But yeah, the stage just ended. So that means all the people who stayed out were going to pass because we don't have to pit. Unless we get some kind of stupid glitch thing. Go. I want to get out in front of Brad. 5th? We got 5th in the stage by doing that. By pitting. And I'm in 2nd now. Oh boy. I wish I would have been smart enough to stay out and win the stage.
Ready.
But how am I supposed to see that crap coming? You know, that, oh, the AIs are just going to wreck for absolutely no apparent reason.
Hold your line. Stay high.
How am I supposed to assume that's going to happen?
Careful. Still there.
And just a fair warning, if my whole tape idea doesn't work out, I'm just going to wreck someone. Remember, I'm Clint Bowyer. I'm not afraid of intentional cautions, believe me. Here we go.
20 more laps. No mistakes here. Car high. Careful.
I hate that I have to run the bottom to keep up with the AIs.
You're clear.
I mean, I want to run the top really badly. You know what? I'm going to try it for stage 2. I'm going to try running the top just to see what happens. It's not like I really need to be concerned about stage points at this point in the season. I already have won a race. It's just that the AIs can wrap the bottom so ridiculously. See, look, we're getting that Larson run. Ooh, ooh. Oh, now I really am Larson.
On the inside.
Hitting the wall like that. I'll never forget Eldora. I think it was 2014. I think he thought that if you try to knock the fence down, you will go faster. But it, you know, obviously didn't work. But you can't hit the wall every single lap and expect to kick into anti-friction
Car on the outside now.
or have wheels on the right side of your car
You got room.
to where you'll actually make up time by doing that. Now, fortunately, Brad has started to take the top. So that might give me a little bit of an opportunity to catch up to him. And The tape isn't hurting me at all. Still running right around the 230. So, should I risk more? I'm thinking about it. I just hit a scene, and the car went like that. Oh, Brad, you should have kept running the top. It's the only way to make NASCAR heat look realistic. I mean, think about it. You know, 704 would get a lot less complaints about the AI running the bottom if they could just literally keep them from running the bottom. Like, if at every racetrack they ran the top. Screw it, even Martinsville, if they ran the top. At least they wouldn't get complaints about the AIs wrapping the bottom. Do they realize that? Because, I mean, we can already tell they don't really give a crap, especially about this year's game, because, you know, it's just a crossroads anyway. They could have just, you know, faked good AI by just having them run the top side, or at least what you could call the preferred lane. That's kind of how you have to do it in NR. You know, is you kind of have to fake good AI. Because, you know, that game's from 2003, though. This game is from the year 2020. That's the problem. Is, you know, if this was like Grand Prix Legends, I wouldn't be so harsh on it. Because with that, you know, I can understand limitations of writing something on Windows 95. I understand that, you know, you might not have access to everything like that. Jeez. That was kind of fun doing that. Could I make the first ever NASCAR Heat 5 pass on the outside? Nope. No way. And I'm talking a lead pass. It doesn't really count when you pass 35th on the outside because you have fresh tires. You know, you can do that anywhere.
Yellow flag.
Well, that kind of takes the strategy out of it. I'm going to put more tape on the front end of this car. Cars stayed out. That works into my strategy because I need idiots like Fincham to block all the other fast cars. It's my only real hope at getting a lead and keeping it. I kind of wish this would happen with 10 to go in the actual race instead of just a stage.
All right, you're clear.
Okay, Fincham, here we go. Let's hook up. Let's get going.
Need a good wheel here.
Bobby Carter.
All clear on the bottom. Car outside. Hold your line.
Look at these legends
Car there on your outside.
leading the field. It's incredible.
Car outside.
Woo. Quinn Half,
All right.
good job, buddy. Bring it home in second. Josh Balicki got a second place finish in a stage at Atlanta, so Quinn better pull this one off. I'm going to be watching the margins now, and look at this top five. Absolute best case scenario for a top five. Well, Kurt Busch's really cutting through him quick, isn't he? Yeah, Kurt's already up to Quinn. Kurt's now taking second. Well, that was fun. Brad into fourth. Let's hope after this stage ends we can get some cooler strategy. Like with the top 20 cars being the bottom 20. Essentially, I want a field inversion at the end of stage 2. Well, I was hoping Quinn Half could hold it together for a little bit longer and hold third spot from Brad. But now look at the top 5. Kurt, Brad, Martin, and Bowman. So yeah, that strategy really didn't pay off now. I hope that one of them can pull off a stage point, though. Like, at least finish 10th. I don't think they will, but I want to see it. By the way, at the time of this recording, we're coming right off of the Joe Gibbs Racing announcement that they're going to be putting Daniel Hemrick in the 18 car in the Xfinity Series. And if you're part of our Discord server, you'd know that I said he now has no excuse not to win. And I still stand behind that. Because, listen, he has worse than Kyle Larson in Cup and Stuart Friesen in the Truck Series luck when it comes to bringing home second-place finishes. Like, it's just gotten ridiculous for him. It's become like Brian Scott levels of, you know, I am second. Which, by the way, I don't know what that sponsor is, but I always thought when I first saw that car that it should have been Brian Scott's sponsorship. Alright, tires are starting to melt. You can see Kurt Busch only 9/10 behind me. I really don't think I'm going to be able to hold him off for this stage, but I am 100% willing to bring home a second in this stage. Kurt Busch is just absolutely wrapping the apron, and I have zero clue at how you're supposed to do that. I mean, no amount of grill tape is going to let you wrap the apron at Homestead. And by the way, all the cars that stayed out under the last caution have come down pit road, so that ruins any hope for a Quinn Half stage point. Alright, Kurt's half a second back. We got one lap to go in the stage. I think I can hold him off if I stay consistent. Trying to break the draft right now. He took the outside. Well, I mean, if you could wrap the apron, you should have done that there. Stage winner.
Won that stage. Way to go, driver.
All right. Final stage. We're going to pit, certainly. I don't think I should try 50% grill tape. If we get another caution, maybe. But here we go. I lost the lead to Kurt Busch, but that really doesn't matter.
Ready. Farther on the inside.
I was probably going to lose it to him anyway.
Stay high. Stay high.
Pinch him down. Didn't really work. All my car did was push.
Got one down
Going
low.
to try and draft with Kurt down the back straightaway. And I could not get to the bottom. So I'm going to try and work
Stay high. Stay
pretty
high.
much the very top. And how does it make any sense? The top line has literally more banking than the bottom. But the AIs can wrap the bottom faster than they can the top.
Careful. Still there. Bottom.
Because it's not like they didn't get the progressive banking right in this game. At least it feels okay. You know, it might not be 100% LiDAR accurate, but the top does have more banking than the bottom in the track model. So there's really no excuse for why the AIs go slower on the top than on the bottom.
That was a great.
Unless there's some kind of PJ1 I can't see. By the way, you just feel like Superman when you put fresh rubber on. Like, here we go to the bottom of Kurt.
Still there.
You know, if I can get them up off the bottom, they cannot really run the outside.
All right. Clear outside.
Well, especially when I'm trying to wreck him like that, but I'm just saying that once you get him
Excellent lap.
unset off the bottom, you can really pass him pretty easy. A lot of turning back to the right when it comes to coming off the corners. I think it's because of the way they did the progressive banking in this.
Yellow's out. Back her down.
Another caution. Let's see if anyone's pitting. Gase and Timmy Hill. I don't need to pit. Gonna try and stretch my fuel a little bit, you know, because the caution's gonna help us a lot when it comes to that. But that does put
Green is out.
the last pit stop closer to the finish, which is a little bit concerning because that makes it even more crucial.
Clear high, bud.
By the way, Pro Stock gear in this Because we pulled out by about 3 car lengths on the restart right there, getting through the gears. They're obviously going to catch me right back because of these, you know.
These giant-ass spoilers.
All right, took the top right there. Alex Bowman got a huge run on me. I need to point out Bowman won at Homestead in the Mock Series. So I'm not really sure if those two things are related, but it'd be funny if it was. Look at this push from Brad. I mean, come on, that was tandeming
Clear high.
from turn 2 onward. Got to slide up the track. Ooh, hit a seam. Side drafting Brad all the way down to the apron. Yep, I overdrove it. Got to ride the top so I can cut back down to the middle, I guess. Or just try and get around Newman as soon as possible. Ooh, boy. I really upset both the 2 and my car pulling that move right there.
Careful, still there. All clear.
This is a really weird, like, dusk. Don't you think? Like, why is the sky purple and orange? And that blimp doesn't look right. Ooh, man. I was sliding all the way through 3 and 4 right there trying to hold the bottom. Should probably stop trying to do that. Here, I'm going to run the line that I beat Kurt Busch with. It's less abrasive on my tires, I know that, because I'm literally steering less. You have less input in the wheel when you run a higher line, which is why you can save tires by doing it.
Careful, still there.
And don't concern yourself with it being a greater distance,
Got one down low now. All clear.
because you're literally turning less. If you're on the bottom, you're wearing your tires because you're running at a tighter radius around the turn. To the inside of Brad, into 3.
Still there.
I don't like trying to make the bottom work. Woo.
In the middle.
Oh.
All clear on the bottom.
Yep, I was not going to be put in the middle. I had to be pushed by Newman.
You got room. You're clear.
6 car's going to get to the inside of me here.
Got one
Sliding
down low
around
now.
just a little bit too much, or maybe not.
You're clear.
I threw a block on him and it worked. I'm driving a little bit more aggressive than I want to, because I want to save the tires a little bit. But, you know, we're really inching in on the finish with just 12 laps to go. You know, you don't really want to give an inch this late.
Got a car low now. Clear all around. Inside.
Still battling Newman. Can't believe the
You're clear.
resurgence, I guess you could call it, of Ryan Newman this season. Wins the pole at Phoenix. Regains the nickname Rocket Man. Is battling a Stewart-Haas car and 2 Penske cars for the lead at Homestead. I mean, Roush is back.
Stay high. Stay high.
Undeniably. Then again, I haven't really seen Buescher this season.
Car there on the
Woohoo!
inside. All clear.
That was not good. Get back to the inside of the 6th, though. Side draft him up the hill. Slide in front of him.
Inside.
Joey's now on my inside, and I have to pit the next lap. Side drafting Joey.
Last 10 laps. You gotta focus.
10 to go.
High lane's clear. Yellow flag.
Okay. More tape. Here we go. 10th. How? Screw him.
Coming to the green.
I gotta drive through him anyway.
Green's out.
7 laps remaining.
Still there. Got one inside.
Here we go to the outside. Get around Blaney, use the draft of Kyle Busch.
Still there.
Split these guys.
Go, bud. Top spree, use it.
Drive like a maniac to the front. Lean on Kurt Busch a little.
Still there.
And now I gotta get back up to the front using the draft here. I'm into the top 5. Bowman
Hold your line.
is really taking up the lane I want to be in. Look at this.
Careful, still there.
Here we go, Joey.
Hold your
Here we
line,
go.
guys.
I'm fitting in a Team Penske sandwich right here.
Clear high.
Joey practically backed out.
Careful,
It's the
still there.
tape giving me the speed, isn't it?
Five to go. All right, you're clear.
Because I tell you what, even though this thing's getting hotter, it sure is handling good. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man, I think I just saw my life flash before my eyes right there. I hit a seam close to the outside wall, and it just kind of sucked the car towards a safer barrier, and I did not like that. Three laps to go. Joey Logano just retook second place.
Two to go.
Just 3 miles, remaining. 2 laps to go. Tell you what, this is the one time this whole race I can say the car is starting to handle. You do not know how hard I was praying right there to get no caution. Now I kind of want one. Just to have the race end early. Let's see, what's the gap? Yeah, a second and a half. I mean, this is the first time this whole race I've been putting time on people, and guess what? I'm running the outside. So here's a note to all NASCAR Heat 5 players out there. Put the tape to 50%. 2 in a row.
Driver, way to earn that checkered flag.
The tape's what did it. And here we go for another Clint Bowyer level burnout. Just ruin the sign. And you know the new traditions. You gotta do the circle donut. Then you gotta find who finished second. Which honestly I'm not really sure who did. Because I was kind of in the heat of the moment. But Kurt Busch put up the biggest fight. So I'm just gonna do it in front of Kurt. And hey, you know what? We can get Truex 2 weeks in a row. Not as much of one, though. It's not as important. You know, the funniest part about this is, ever since I started this series, I actually kind of got good at playing NASCAR Heat 5. I never was before. But I guess, you know, doing a series about it kind of gave me the incentive to become somewhat decent. So anyway, full throttle backwards burnout, the Clint Bowyer style. Give the fans what they want. A third gear burnout. This is probably the first time you've ever seen me do the cockpit mode in this. Alright, so our second consecutive win. And I did it in pretty cool fashion, too. Through the middle with 50% tape. Said, screw you, Penske horsepower, I'm getting around both of you. And pretty much drove away from the field from there on out. Never had that good of a handle on this racetrack than that tape adjustment at the end. Anyway, Kurt Busch really did finish second, so I got the burnout right. Let's see, any abnormalities here. Jimmy Johnson wrecked out or had some kind of failure or something. So definitely not good for him. Same thing with Eric Almirola. BJ finished 21st. He's kind of on the verge of not making the playoffs now that he's kind of started to consistently go like this to the bottom. But, yeah, was not expecting to get 2 consecutive wins like that. Now with a stage win and a race win here at Homestead, keep in mind, I'm running this on the highest difficulty. Don't go thinking I'm not. But 281 points, 2 wins, definitely padding the pocketbook at this point with consecutive race wins. And look at that trophy. Yet again, a trophy in front of the 14. It's majestic. That still don't look like Clint Bowyer. I wonder if the next game, if they're going to have kind of a more EA Sports, maybe just cooler overall victory lane celebration. One that doesn't just kind of continue forever with weird blur effects. Anyway, fastest lap, of course, was set by the Rocket Man. 32 flat. I led the most laps, which is still strange. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was on the move. And who dropped to the back? Probably, yeah, Eric Almirola from wrecking or having some kind of failure. Also, I forgot to mention it during the race, but I'm pretty sure the sun sets at the wrong part of the track in this game. Like, I'm pretty sure that they got the sunset wrong. But I mean, not to mention the fact that I'm pretty sure they forgot the moon. And it's kind of hard to miss that. You know, when you look up at the night sky, and, you know, I'm assuming the developers of this game probably are not firstborn, so they've probably seen the moon. I'm not sure if that's just beyond Unity's comprehension, or if it's just something they flat out forgot. But anyway, as I was saying, the point standings were very far on top at this point. And let's see if McLeod dropped out. Just barely hanging on, maybe? Not in the playoffs. He needs 4 points to make it in over Byron. Let's hope he does it, but that performance at Homestead really brought up Ryan Newman. So the next race is from Texas Motor Speedway, and I will see you next time for that one. I don't think I'm going to go 3 in a row there.